Let's say that our mission is to create a search for looking at the users with the highest severity of events. Okay, we say that we want to do it over a period of a couple of days. So what is it that we need to project? The columns that we need to work with. Well, forgot the pipe. So obviously the severity is one of them. If we are looking in terms of time, we need to put the timestamp, original time. We're interested on source IP, for example. We may want to know the log source that we are getting the severity from. And let's say that, why not, we want to show the entire payload of the message, right? Okay, so that's part number one. Those are the columns we are going to be working with. But let's say that we are interested in doing some filtering here. So we're going to start with a where filter. I like to put a space here for aesthetics. Original time is greater than 3 days ago. And we want the severity to be between, that's the between, we use the between in another video for time, between this time and that time, but we're going to use it in here for between severity being 8, we need to put a space, 2 dots, another space, and 10, right? And this is inclusive. It's going to get severities in 8 and from all the range, actually in this case 8, 9, and 10. So let's run it in here and see what we get. And part of the process of learning is making mistakes, right? So this is the function ago. Okay, and we are getting there. So we got severity here. But we forgot to include the user ID. Well, no problem. We can put it in here, after or between, it doesn't really matter. Let's put it, let's leave the payload at the end of it. So we're going to put here user ID. And that's more like it. But there are some fields that do not have user ID, so we don't want those, because we want to find out who's the guys, and we are going to do it by the user ID. So we can put another filter here as a separate statement, or we can even put it, let's say, for performance reasons. Let's start filtering here and do where is not empty. We used this one before for strings, and we're going to be putting user ID. Let's run it like that, and that keeps building our search. Is now better because we don't have missing fields in here. Now let's say that we want to group this by the amount of events that every one of those users has. We want to see not only the severity but also the amount. Well, we use the summarize for grouping, and we're going to say event with capital E at the beginning to differentiate it from anything else, and we're going to count the number of events, right? And we're going to group these, because if we run it just like that, we're just going to get that count, and then we that's not what we want. We actually want to group that by, let's say that we want it by user ID. User ID. Getting there. So now we have these, and we can sort them. We can actually go here and say, well, let's sort it by the total number of events. So we can do order by or sort. It's the same. Sort by event, number of event. And we run it, and we have it sorted like that. But let's say that we also want to show here the severity and the other columns. No problem. So we put in after the element that we are grouping by. We can put here that we want some extra columns like source IP, like data source name, typing this right, and made a mistake. Extra P doesn't go there, and now we have those columns. Good. Now you can also sort them, and this is basically the list that we want, right? Where's the severity? We are not showing the severity here. That's very important. Let's add it after. I'm not typing very well today. Put the severity here, and we have it right there. And we can also, on the sort, even though we are going to be, the primary parameter for sorting will be number of events, and we see the highest in here, you can put other things like, for example, severity. So if there were two elements that have the same number of events, but one has severity higher than the other one, they will be sorted by that. So again, what is it that we have learned here? Well, we've used the between not both for time but for numeric values between the parameters. That's actually very useful. And we also expanded the use of summarize by indicating that you can put extra columns after what you are grouping by, and same thing from the sorting, that you can put a secondary sort level in here.